What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Summer Career Mode. It is episode number 5. Hope you guys are doing well. Returning today on the back of the draw with Bolton. No wins in our last 2 in League 1. Slowing down a bit after a great run of form, but still 10 clear atop the table. Today we'll get to the halfway stage of the league season. We had a draw for the FA Cup third round as well. Fingers crossed, touch wood, we get a big Premier League side away. That's what I'm hoping for. The January window is going to open and there's more scouting updates as well. And that's what we're starting off with today. So following scouting update from America, looking for that next Marcus Hanneman. Blake Cooper, to be fair, could still be alright. The overall's not the best, but the potential's not bad. Same with Kenneth Bishop as well. But I'm hoping for like a... You know when like a youth player appears and you're like, oh, that's the one. That's the one right there. I felt that with Reggie. I haven't felt that with anyone else just yet. And I know that these players may end up being good enough, but like I said, man, stick to this strategy no matter your club stature. Creme de la creme. Yo, let's jump into it. Our first of about 8 or 9 games today. Burton Albion, the Brewers, and the Medeski aiming to return to winning ways after none in our last 2 in the league. Let's get back on track here. Come on, you Royals. Oh my God, this has been a poor game. Into the final 17 minutes, still deadlocked at 0-0. I've not been able to break the Brewers down at all. We're tired, man. You can tell we're tired. Lots of rotation for the team. Tired legs out there. We need a breather, man. We need a break as Mukairi finds Kelvin. Can we win this late here in what's been an uneventful game? Elliott. Oh, yes. Finishes into the top corner, and maybe we are returning to winning ways. Poor performance, poor game, but Reading might be winning poorly. There are going to be some days when you are tired, fatigued, stressed, and quite frankly, just not up to the challenge. But if you can come through, work hard, and still scrape through and get the job done, that is the sign of a truly determined individual, or in this case, team. Reading back to winning ways, left it late, but still got the job done. Massive 3 points on the back of no wins in our last 2 league games. That's a clutch win, that. And we've just had the draw for the FA Cup third round, where we'll be taking on... Oh, it's okay, so it's not going to be a Premier League side. It's another League One side at home, Oxford United. Last year, of course, promoted via the playoffs to the Championship in the save, though, right now, still, of course, battling with us in the third tier. And speaking of the third tier, staying in the third tier for our following game, League One, but this time away from home. Pompey at Fratton Park in a top 2 battle. 10 points to gap. They can cut it to 7 with a big win here, as we'll officially be at the halfway stage come to the conclusion of this one. Or we could go 13 clear at the official halfway point. Let's see if we can get the job done with a big 3 points here on the South Coast. Pompey away our following contest. Come on, you Royals. Pompey, of course, one of the teams that went up to the Championship last season. And of course, definitely a side who I'm sure many people will want to do an RTG with next season. Who want to start in the second tier. But right now we're both in the third tier, both with our eyes on the second. And it's Sam Smith who fires in the early opener as the top scorer in the division, puts us in front. If we can win this game, again, going further clear at the top at the official halfway stage. Listen, again, a whole half of the season to go. You can't count your chickens, but that would be a great way to close out the first half of the season. Up by a goal, but got to make sure we see it out. Yes, Pompey are a side who, again, I'm sure a lot of people will be doing an RTG with next season, starting in the second tier after their promotion last season. They've got a very interesting recent history. It was not this long ago when they were winners of the FA Cup, went into the UEFA Cup. There was a famous night at Fratton Park where Ronaldinho and the AC Milan gang came to Fratton Park. Again, with a real stadium in the game, very atmospheric as well. And they're very fierce and strong rivalry with Southampton, who are now back in the Premier League. Yeah, they're a cool team for an RTG, man. Very cool team indeed. But today, looking to get a big win against them. And as things stand, should be able to. Being a better team out there. Just waiting for the second goal. And we should have had it by now. Smith denied, still 1-0. Down the line, there we go. I see a man in the middle. It's Nibs. Oh, so well done. Come on! Mukairi with the second. Harvey took his time with the quick offload. And it's 2 for Reading. It was coming. 2-0 up at Fratton Park. I think you have to say, considering the fact that we were taking on our closest challengers and away from home with just one win in our last 3 games, that is probably one of the wins of the season. Massive 2-0 victory at Fratton Park against the side that were our closest threat, and that means that the official halfway stage, we've now extended the gap to what is now 11 points, with Bolton Wanderers being our closest challenger. It's so hard when things are going really, really well not to get too far ahead of yourself and become complacent, but that's what we'll need to make sure we don't allow to happen. Complacency creep in. It's only the halfway stage. And so just before our following game against Oxford United, we're going to see our next scouting update here from England as we look for the next man to make the academy and subsequently the first team. So far, I mean, I don't mind looking at this goalkeeper, to be fair, but so far, just not finding the talent this year. Jude Hicks, to be fair, could be quite good. We'll keep our eyes on him. But yeah, for now, unfortunately, it's just not. Jonathan Johnson could be alright as well. It's just not quite what we're looking for here. Again, a couple of players could be right. I think I'm going to release him though, because there's a better goalkeeper in there in Elijah. But yeah, it's not. It's like I said before, like it's not quite it yet. Do you know what I mean? We're looking for that it factor. That's that X factor. We haven't quite found it yet, unfortunately. And the wait goes on. Right, anyway, following game, yeah, Oxford United, matchday 24, first game in the second half of the season. The U's promoted via the playoffs last season. This year sat in mid-table for us, 11 clear at the top, aiming to extend it and get on a nice winning run after winning our last 2. Let's keep it going. Come on, you Royals. So we'll take on Oxford again in the FA Cup third round. Again, probably would consider them our main rivals in the save for now. But one thing I often encourage when people ask me, Doxy boy, how do I make my RTGs more enjoyable for the long term? Create new rivalries as you go on. You know, create new rivalries as the seasons go on and the save continues as Harvey has denied yet another goal. And you know, we've done that throughout the course of some of our career modes in this year's FC, and we'll be doing the same with Reading again. You know, Oxford might be our current main rivals, but they won't be the main rivals of the save. Maybe in the first season, possibly even in season 2, you never know, but certainly not long term. We'll be looking for new rivals as the save goes on. Easy, push that man at the near post. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant, what a bit of dribbling. Oh, what a great run that is. Absolutely brilliant. As we give away a penalty. I've just been absolutely done in. That was amazing skill, wasn't it? Incredible technique, and has he sold that? Maybe a little bit, but I've got no complaints. I'd say that's definitely a penalty. Although Joel Pereira says, ball don't lie, referee. That's a soft one. And in the end, he stops Oxford from taking the lead there as I'm bailed out by my keeper. I don't often save penalties, so it's always nice when I do. But that was an amazing bit of dribbling to beat me there. And in the end, brought the man down, fortunately bailed out from the spot. Still 0-0, and very lucky to get away with that one. Careful, don't want to give away another penalty here. Ball inside, it was coming. They've been the better team out there, and half an hour to go. We are trailing, and it seems as though we might be set for our second loss at home in 3 league games. Yeah, starting to slow down a bit. And that's why even on the back of the win against Pompey, I was saying we can't get too far ahead of ourselves, man. It's the halfway point. There's still such a long way to go. Oxford looking to become the second team to beat us in the Medeski in the league this season. And to be fair, they're full value for it as well. One thing I often say is that when you're watching my highlights package, it's always the full story. Like I don't sweep anything under the rug, and I always present it completely unbiased. If I've played poorly, like in this game here, you're gonna see me playing poorly. Do you know what I mean? I'm not gonna try and dress this up as if we've been incredibly unlucky and conceded a goal while we were on top. No. I'm not gonna do that, man. I'm gonna be as fair and show you exactly what's happened within the game. I have not played well, and I've been the worst team out there. It's as simple as that. You're never going to get a biased highlights package from me. What you see is exactly what's happened. And what's happened in this game is Oxford have turned up to their rivals' turf and played them off the park. Tuned it up, the U's going to claim a big win and brought crashing back down to earth by our rivals. You know, there are lots of things that can slow down progress, sometimes to a standstill, and also take away progress too. One of those big things is complacency. Complacency kills, a mantra I try and repeat quite often in my own personal life. Yeah, we were on top. We were double digits clear. We were looking good at the halfway stage. First game of the second half, take our eyes off the prize, get played off the park, lose 2-0 to our rivals. Proof right there, there's a long way to go. And as we also see after the game as well, Joel Pereira can leave on a free transfer for the end of the season if we don't give him a new deal. But to be honest, that was the plan anyway. If we couldn't sell him, we'd let him go on a free. Granted, he started all of our league games and he's leading the race for the Golden Glove right now. But at 27 years old, only up a rating. And it's worth pointing out, we've got a young Icelandic goalkeeper out on loan at Carlisle who's only a few ratings lower but also far younger. And Kanaya Boyce Clark, I also quite like as well. I'm totally fine letting him go on a free transfer if I can't buy a permanent buyer. Right, following game, Shrewsbury Town on the back of that loss. Well, what do we always say, man? You've had a loss. Learn the lessons, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and move on to the next one and aim to bounce back. Shrewsbury Town away from home. Come on, you Royals. Nips to Kelvin. Oh, what a turn. Oh, Kelvin. Oh, what a goal. It's absolutely glorious. And one of the goals of the season right from kickoff. Royals draw first blood. But that is an amazing, amazing little goal from our number 15. Put him into the team. Put Sam Smith on the wing for this game here. And this is, look at that. First touch, second touch, third touch. 3 touches for a wonderful little finish. And Kelvin puts us into an early. That is a wonderful goal there. It's so important to always remain ready, you know, when your number is called. And you never know when that's going to be. What a ball that is. And Shrewsbury leveled it there. Kelvin has been backup for Smith for the vast majority of the season. And particularly in this run where Smith's been great and become one of the top scorers in the league. But Kelvin waiting to finally get a start, gets one. And how does he show that reward? He gets a wonderful goal to first open the scoring. There's something about that. You never know when your time is going to come when you're second fiddle. It's always so demoralising when you're waiting for that chance. When you get it, oh, you've just got to make sure you take it. Just cracking a ball through that as well. Tom blocks him. Shooting saved by Pereira to keep us still tied at 1-1. I mean, you just never know when your time's going to come, man. That's the thing. Like, you have to be incredibly patient, but again, you also need to stay poised. That's the thing. It's not just patience, but poise you need as well. Because when the time comes, you need to be ready. There's no warm up. There's no rehearsing. When the time comes, you got to be ready. Shrewsbury in front for the first time, coming back from a goal down to lead, and this is not what we need, man. This is the whole point of not getting complacent. Yeah, we were absolutely cruising. Now the lead at the top's been cut to single digits to 8, and it may well now drop to 5 as well. Can't afford back-to-back losses. Femi says, Gaffer, don't worry about it. 2-2, quick swing, back on level terms. Corner, Reading right before the break, so look to go back in front in a really topsy-turvy game. Lewis Wing's delivery, a good one. And there's Smith with the free header. Even on the wing, we knew he'd get a chance to add to his goal tally. And he does so from the corner. What a first half. 5 goals. And we're back in front. This game's like a yo-yo. Best in this game, but as Lewis wins it back, this should be 4. 2-goal cushion given. And Reading surely returning to winning ways. Yep, defensively, not great for the second game in a row, but what's that saying? Football 101, if you can't defend, just score more. Kelvin bags a brace, he was poised, he was ready, and he's taken his chance. You know, those games that just seem to give you a bit of a psychological boost if you can win them. This is definitely one of those games. Coming on the back of a loss, away from home, falling behind, but responding to turn it around and win. That is a massive, massive victory, and a much needed one too. Could have been disastrous, back-to-back loss for the first time all season long. Instead, we turn the game around and win it big in a 6-goal friendly. That's a massive win now, and a big boost to our confidence too. Yeah, big return to winning ways there. We got to keep it going because the gap remains at 8 points. Next up, Bristol Rovers away at the Memorial Stadium on Boxing Day, aiming to keep Bolton Wanderers as far away as possible. Come on, you Royals. Ball worked into the middle, and John Marquis opens the score, and that really shouldn't have gone in, man. Joel Pereira, he might be leading the way in the race to the Golden Glove, but this is why I'm not against losing on a free, man. He's not that good. Really should have saved that. That's poor goalkeeping there. John Marquis out of the Millwall Academy. Saw him play for us quite a few times. He was actually alright, to be fair, when he went to Pompey, and oh, what a finish that is. Had a couple of clubs where he was really banging them in. Doncaster Rovers as well. But we talk about knowing your level, and his had never really been that much higher than the EFL. But anyway, Sam Smith, I think this guy, at least in this save, definitely does have his eyes on possibly playing in the Premier League, man. Instant response, Smith with another one. Still the top scorer in the league. 15th goal of the season now, man. He is banging them in consistently. Oh, yes, William, mate, William. And is he onside there, Mukairo? I think he's just on. Oh, yeah, easy. Easy, easy, easy. Just held his run on time. And quite frankly, when this guy's in the box, I've just got to look for him, man. 16th of the season in 21 games now. Sam Smith's on fire. And League One defences are terrified. You love to see it, man. This guy's a goal machine in the third tier. There's actually a British singer called Sam Smith. So you might be thinking, why am I not busting out some songs when I score with his namesake? I'll be totally honest here, it's because I don't know any of his songs. I apologise to any Sam Smith fans out there, but I don't know any of his songs, I'm afraid, so I can't bust out some melodies when I get a goal with his namesake, who almost got a first half hat-trick, man. Yes, please don't come for me, Sam Smith fans, because whilst I don't know much about the musician, I do know that our striker is a goal machine in League One. Bags a brace, turns the game on its head, and Reading win back-to-back as we're back on track. So big 3 points in the Memorial Stadium there. And just before our following game against Blackpool, our final game of the calendar year, David Burton comes to me and says, "Boss, gotta be honest with you, yada yada yada, please let me leave." I'm like, bro, I've been trying to force you out the door, let alone let you leave, son. Honestly, you're back up, but really third choice goalkeeper to Poise Clark. And I've had you on the transfer list since the summer, but no one wants you. I'm trying to sell you, but no one wants you, mate. You can hand in a transfer request, but to be honest, I'll be totally fine releasing you from your contract if you would waive your compensation fee. I wish players would be willing to do that, you know, agree to a mutual termination like sometimes they'll do in Football Manager. Right, anyway, following game, Blackpool back in the Medeski going for our third straight win. We're back to a 10-point gap at the top of the table as we look to extend it here going into January. The Tangerines coming to Berkshire. Come on, you Royals. So I believe the FA Cup third round against Oxford comes directly after this. So I think we'll probably play that one and maybe another one, and then we'll leave it there for today. January window's about to open. I think we might see a couple of players get recalled as well, including Harley Dean. Sorry, not Harley Dean. Holmes as well from Luton as Femi hits the post and Blackpool get it away. So that is something we'll have to keep our eyes on. We've already got a small squad with a couple of players getting recalled from loan too. I mean, if Makari gets recalled, I'm going to start rioting, but that is going to cause a bit of a problem, so we need to keep our eyes on that and be prepared for it. Oh, great game. This is still dead up to 0-0. Can we find a winner? I've had one half chance in the first 10 minutes, and since then, nothing. You know, it's those games that are just like really flat. If you get a chance, you've got to take it. It's not just patience you need, but poise. We said it earlier. Kelvin, when your number's called, stand up to the plate and be counted. He's done it again. You never know when it's going to happen. You never know when it's going to be your time to be called upon. So you've got to be ready for it. Blackpool with the instant response, though. Not for the first time this season. I've scored and then conceded practically right from kickoff. So frustrating. Haven't played well. Did ever so well to get my nose in front and then threw it away straight away, but a briefer given space. Called my bluff. Not quite what we were hoping for. Our third win in a row slips through our fingers after I thought we'd won it late. Surrendered 2 points directly afterwards. Much to ponder, man. Seriously, that is a massive dub that slipped through my fingers. Just can't allow that to happen. What do we say, man? Complacency, that's the killer. That's exactly what killed us in that game too. And so, as the first of the month is here, and the transfer window opens, well, this is what I was expecting, man. Those recalls. Ballard's being recalled by the Saints. I'm totally fine with that, man. He's third choice behind Smith and Kelvin. Monlouise is being recalled by Arsenal. He barely played for us, so again, totally fine with that. And Holmes, Tom Holmes, who came through the Reading Academy before being signed by Luton, is now being recalled by the Hatters, which is a shame because he was one of the players that I was using quite a bit. So that means our squad depth gets even lighter, and we need to keep our eyes on that. Basically, no money to work with at all, but we need to do something to make sure we've got enough players to cover any kind of injury crisis. But just before we look at transfers, another scouting update from America. Again, there's a couple of players here that, again, could still be really good, but it's the creme de la creme, man. I'm looking for that one goalkeeper. I'm like, oh, he's definitely the one I could see becoming our next man between the sticks for a long time to come. So far, still haven't got that. And speaking of goalkeepers, was a bit there for Kanaya Boys Clark, but that's like the 4th offer we've had. But again, it's not him I want to sell. It's either Pereira, even though he's normally our starting goalkeeper, or Burton. Put bids in for those goalkeepers. Yeah, because of our small squad size, again, any more injuries and we're going to be in a lot of trouble now. We're getting down to the territory where we might need to put 2 goalkeepers on the bench, and that's never a good sign. So I think with that being the case, we're going to need to do something in this January window. Exactly what we'll do, I'm not too sure, but something will need to be done as a bid comes in for Femi. And that is one thing we could do. We could sell one of our young players for quite a bit of money and then look to reinvest elsewhere, but I don't want to do it. Like, I don't want to sell someone like a Femi or a Nibs, because they've been so integral to our run to the top of the table, man. Those aren't the players I'm willing to part with, including Kelvin, whilst he is backup. Saw that in that last game. When Sam Smith needs a breather, he's willing to come in and step up to the plate. Right, following game. Anyway, we'll do a couple more today. FA Cup third round, Oxford United at home. They just beat us at home. In our 2 games against our rivals, we haven't beaten them yet. Let's make it 3rd time's the charm here and make it through to the last 32 of the FA Cup. The U's at the Medeski. Come on, you Royals. So again, the board have asked us to reach the last 16, which is the 5th round. This is the 3rd round. So, you know, I often like to use the phrase winning solves everything. I don't always agree with that, if I'm being totally honest here, but in a lot of cases it does. If we were to get knocked out here in the 3rd round at home by our rivals, that stings. That hurts. That's something that we wish wouldn't have happened. But if we're also to go up with the title, I mean, like I said, winning, I don't think always solves everything. But in this case, I think this exit would be forgiven, you know? I do believe that. So there are certain cases where it's not the worst thing in the world to have a setback if you succeed in other areas. I think in this case, that definitely applies. As we'll win it back here. Mukaira with all the pace and the space. Dangerous combination when opposite defenders allow that to happen. And the finish just wide. Again, we said this in the last round against Gillingham. The last thing we want is an extra game in the calendar with a replay to play. With our small squad, it's got an even smaller now. That would be disastrous. Come with me, Sam. Come with me. I'm going to need you. Because you're my finisher, you're my guy that I trust to bang in the goals and send us through right before the break. Reading strike first. Sam Smith with yet another one. Well, not a great game by any stretch of the imagination, but once again, Sam Smith, the difference maker. And in our 3rd battle against our rivals, finally, we get our 1st win against them. What's that saying? For first you don't succeed, try again. And that's exactly what we've done. Got it right the 3rd time I'm asking, and we're into the last 32. Of course, we won't see the draw until the replays have been played in 10 days' time. But what I really want to see is not a bid for Charlie Savage, but a bid for a Button or a Clinton Mola. Like, those are the guys I'm willing to part with, not my younger players that I see being a part of the furniture for years to come. And a bid for Tivonge Rashesha, but that's not really going to do anything. That sort of money isn't going to do anything for us here. With our small squad depth, that gives us more problems than solutions. We'll do one more game. It's going to be Northampton Town away at Sixfields. Cobblers, no really, as we go in search of another win and what would be our 4th in 5 games in all competitions. Northampton away, our final game today. Come on, you Royals. I guess the only thing we could do really is possibly recall Dean Bouzanis from loan and then try and sell him. But the problem is, if we do that, we recall him, not only are we paying a recall fee, but then we start paying a weekly wage. And if we can't sell him, we've now got 4 first-team goalkeepers when we don't even need 3. And we're paying, again, a weekly wage for a player who's not going to play. So that's the problem, really. That's just adding to this real challenge, man. It's what's making this save so fun. It is such a difficult challenge because you've got to be so smart with your money. You make a wrong decision, you're paying for it, quite literally, as Sam Smith gets us back on level terms. Man, oh man, this guy is just... He is a goal machine in the 3rd tier. You've got to be spot on with your money when you're working with such a small budget, and I think it's safe to say I've made a couple of decisions this season already, which I'm certainly paying the price for, no pun intended. And heading into this game, Conceding again, 2-1 down as things stand, set for back-to-back games about winning the league, and 1 point taken from 6. Safe to say we're starting to slow down at the top of the table, and with our squad size getting even smaller, now we're starting to feel the challenge here. Oh, no. Oh, Joel, good save, mate. Well done. Oh, we shall get the danger away through a briefer. And now to Mukairi. I'll tell you what we're really missing right now as well is Reggie. Could really do with him back in the team. And back from injury as Smith couldn't get away. Again, for squad depth, but also more first team quality as well. Really missing him. It's no coincidence that our defence has gotten worse since he's been out. Struggling to keep the clean sheets like we were at the start of the season. As Nibs is denied. And with 19 to go, needing another equaliser otherwise. We are set for 1 point taken for a possible 6. And there's no doubt about it. Starting to slow down. Exactly what I said we couldn't afford. This is it. Last chance. Got to get it forward. A briefer. Mukairi. Smith. Who else but Sam Smith denied? Final chance of the game to bail us out and get a point. Massive save. And that will probably do it unless we can convert the corner. It's Lewis's delivery. It's Smith's header. Over the bar, and that will do it. No wins in our last 2, and Reading definitely slowing down. 1 point taken from a possible 6, and yeah, we're into the last 32 of the FA Cup, but getting caught up in the league. And even with still over a third of the season to go, proof right there, man, with our squad now getting smaller, the loan recalls and no money to work with too, we're certainly feeling the tension now. But that'll do it for today's episode of the Summer Career Mode, guys. So big thank you for watching. Really hope you have enjoyed. If you have, then please do drop a like. So you all have a fantastic day. I'll return in the next one, aiming to get back to form in the league after slowing down at the draw for the FA Cup 4th round and the fixture against whoever it will be in the last 32. We'll have the remainder of the January window. I need to do something special, otherwise we're going to be in trouble with a lack of squad depth. Have a great day, guys. Much love, and I'll see you for the next episode very soon.